Listen, hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Listen, Twitter is going mad with this conversation. I thought I'd bring you a few tweets and a few conversations I found really, really interesting about the topic. Because, Tyler Perry definitely was asking black women to date black men who work in Home Depot. He definitely was. He was asking them, he was asking ladies to make sure to date these Home Depot guys, McDonald's guys. He wants her to date the men that work, next door who have no job, but do infrequent jobs here and there. He definitely said that. Now I'm being facetious because a lot of people were saying that we took Tyler Perry's words out of context and we misinterpreted. So I went around onto Twitter and I saw that a lot of people were having different conversations. So I thought I'd bring you some of those conversations here today. But listen, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor. We don't support women dating men in a huge dating gap. Look, I'm all for men. I'm all for us as men, being empowered and wanting us to do well. But what I will never do is ask a woman to date a man. Let's say if you're on 100K, he's on 20K. It's stupid. It's dumb. You're gonna suffer. She gonna suffer. Everybody gonna suffer in the end. Okay, so I don't advocate for large financial gaps because it always causes issue because of ego, and then also because financially you're in different spaces. So if you're here and you're here to fight in the comment section, but do it respectfully and do it with class. If I hear you calling people B words and being disrespectful to women or being disrespectful to men, I just cancel your comment, you know what I mean? So you won't ever see it. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We are trying to get to 100K today. Oh my days. Okay, maybe not today. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I mean, it would be nice if you could. But we're trying to get to 100K by the end of the year. That means what? A further another 3 months. It's possible. I mean, it's impossible, but it's possible. And so we're looking forward to you guys helping us grow as we have been in the last few weeks. It's been crazy. The growth has been mad. I can't lie to you. So shout out to you guys doing that growth for us as well. Don't forget you can join our membership. £1, $1. Click on that dollar sign down below. It just means that you can join the membership only lives every other Tuesday as well. We've got one this Tuesday coming up. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. All right, cool. Let's get into this conversation as well. And for those of you returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because streets out there are hot. Let's get into this one. This was a crazy read, and I thought it was good conversation. Let's go.
If that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is
Tyler, and I'm going to touch your hand when I say this. Go put on your wigs and your heels and come back to me woman to woman because you are speaking from a viewpoint you have never lived out of Honey Bunch. Okay? You have all this unresolved trauma with your own father, which is why you struggle to hold black men accountable. You yourself have called Erica for 30 fucking years just to become the multi-millionaire Oprah's book. You're scared because you just got this studio and the writers are on strike that when we come back from all of this shit, black women are no longer going to tune into you because we have healed past the point of accepting this type of bullshit as entertainment. I'm willing to bet your entire net worth that you can't make a movie or a television show without the concept of struggle of somebody got to be on the brink of divorce, somebody mama got to have cancer, somebody has to have a wicked baby mama from fucking hell. What I heard was black women should take care of black men and stop expecting black men to be able to take care of them, which makes perfect sense coming from you because you created Medea to sustain Tyler, did you not? I'd have made it better had you turned around and said, black men, you need to learn how to submit to black women because I'm not going to be the provider and he gets to be the motherfucking lead. He's not leading me into debt. I make enough money for me. But now you telling me I got to feed 2 mouths? If I could afford it without you, I should be able to afford it 2 times over when I get with you. You would think after painting the black community in such a negative light for the last 30 years, you yourself would know that black men are the most insufferable people on the planet when they don't have any fucking funds. If black women wanted to settle for something less than what we're deserving of, we would simply audition for one of the roles that you're casting for.
Now, my thoughts were there was some bars in there. I think the one when she said about Medea is helping sustain Tyler. I said, damn, if that was like a slam poetry, that'd have been a, you know what I mean? But I think there's some real conversation, right? As funny face I'm making and jokes I'm making on this, there's some good points in here, right? First and foremost, this goes back to my original point. Whenever we have this conversation, I talk about the natural order that God has created. He's created for man to lead. Are we agreeing that? Because when you start saying that if a man doesn't make enough money, he can't lead you, then I'm going to say this. Well, if he makes enough money, then he automatically becomes a lead. That's not essentially why he becomes a lead. Making money doesn't make you automatically a great leader, but you are a lead because of the position God has put you as a man, right? As a man, you're supposed to be the strong one, protect, provide, and be a priest over your home. That's what a man is called to do. That's what your responsibility and the power of the role that you have as a man is. And God has called you into that. Now, not every man is going to be in that position. I do agree. There are going to be exceptions to a rule, but the majority of the men are supposed to be in that role. When they vacate that, we see what happens, right? Society loses out on the fabrics of having a strong unit when someone goes missing, whether they died, whether it is they got sick, or whether it's the fact that they were absent, whatever it is, right? We see the effects of not having strong leadership from men. Now, the key point of that situation is that I believe that men should lead, and I believe that men should also lead financially as much as possible. Now, of course, if you're level and equal, that's different. But if it's and again, if she earns slightly more, that's different. If there is a huge gap between the two, if there is a huge gap, is where I always see the issue, then we have a problem. You're not going to lead from that particular position because the very things that she can do, you cannot do. Do you know what I'm saying to you, right? When there's a large gap. So Sis was firing on all cylinders, shooting correctly. And I understand why she was coming at Tyler in the way she did, because there are some aspects of Tyler where you're like, every story that you've written, I had to go and I was like, wait, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, crazy chick. Acrimony, crazy chick. Why to Get Married, crazy chicks. Temptation, crazy chick. But they're all crazy chick and then involving broke isities. You know what I mean? Within it, rich man leaves that man, broke guy stays too long, acrimony ends up leaving, and he's getting turns rich. Temptation deals with a really nice guy, ends up leaving him for the playboy, and then he becomes successful, the nice guy, and has a nice wife, and she gets AIDS, and it's crazy. Like there is a lot of those kind of narratives in a lot of his movies, and I had to go, yeah, Tyler be messing around, right? But he's part of the social engineering that we're doing in creating more drama between black people and white people. Sorry, between black women and black men, right? The divide of incorrectly providing the role of men and women. And what's interesting is when I watch his movies or watch his shows, there's a lack of really good portrayal of what a very lack of good portrayal of what a good, healthy male leadership looks like in terms of how we come about to a place where we can showcase this is how it should be. It's always some crazy ish that happens. And I understand what she's saying. Let me move on, because there's other videos, there was other things that were on my list as well. So someone put a tweet here which gathered a lot of conversation. So Tyler Perry said, "Don't count a great man out, and base the value of a man solely on how much money and base the value of." Sorry, Tyler Perry basically said, "Don't count a great man out. Base the value of a man solely on how much money he makes instead of how he treats you." And y'all let effing stupid at the point flew right over your head. I'm extremely lost at the niggas who are mad at him because that's all you tweet about daily. I expected women to be upset, but y'all are slow as hell. Okay. Now here's a reality of the situation. Yes, he said don't count a great man out. Base the value of that man don't base the value of that man solely on how much money he makes instead of how he treats you. While I agree with that, finances also plays a role in the provision aspect. There's provision emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and then financially. Those are areas of provision. We cannot skip those areas, including provision. Now, am I saying that if it's, again, it is a very rare and unique situation when a woman earns so much more and he earns so much less, and he's able to really cater to her needs, because eventually a woman oftentimes gets tired. That's just real life and real situation. Okay. Now, we weren't being stupid. The point didn't go over our heads. It just didn't bank. You understand? It didn't bank because it didn't make sense. Because reality is the order of men and women are supposed to be that women oftentimes become hypergamous, and men are supposed to financially, emotionally, mentally, physically provide for their family and protect them. And therefore, that also includes financially being in a better place, right? To be able to be stable enough to take care of a particular woman. Hence why I'm saying about this is not about dynamics of you were both young and then he was broke, and those are different situations. Or when you guys are married and he loses his job, that's completely different. That is not the starting block from what we're talking about here. So it's completely different. All right. There's another video which I think was a interesting read. Let's listen.
Once again, I am in my Black apartment minding my Black business. And I wake up to find out I'm on baller alert because it's Tyler Perry. So let's go ahead and break this down real quick. So there's a whole video. I'm sure you already heard about it already at home.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you handle the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine. You know, it's not fine, Mr. Perry. It's not fine that with your big black platform, you decided to get up on that couch and try to convince and condition black women to be okay with less instead of encouraging black men to do more. You know what else ain't fine? That you are a black man that went from being homeless to owning BET. What an inspiration you are. And instead of saying, black men, you could do it too, you said, black women, y'all better pay that mortgage and be okay with him paying that light bill. And I just really want to understand, why is the message always black women get used to less instead of black men do more, even from the black men who have done more? Now, of course, there are situations where this setup makes sense, where the woman might be the higher earner, but the man is still working, he's still striving, he's still showing effort, he's not complacent. Like, he probably don't got it all right now, but he's getting it. And whatever he's getting makes him satisfied. And that's the very rare secure situation that he's speaking of. But what I've seen more times than not is that men who do not have their money together are insufferable creatures.
Yes,
Unhappy and uncomfortable when they're unable to provide. And that uncomfortability within themselves begins to seep into the relationship. And that ego starts getting beat up. And so that's why I say the messaging needs to change. Don't talk to black women. We gonna love regardless. Our love is abundant. We gonna love whoever we want to love anyway. But the help we need, Mr. Perry, we need adequate counterparts, both financially and emotionally. And let me say one more thing. We are in a recession. We need help. I had a black man tell me, well, this is what y'all fought for. Y'all fought for equality. Yeah, we fought for equality because we wanted to have our own money and contribute our ideas to society. But this ain't equal. We become the top dogs. That's not really what we envisioned. So, Mr. Perry, please stop forcing this narrative on us of struggle love in your plays, in your movies, in your interviews, and targeting black women because no other women of any race is forced this narrative upon. We also deserve to feel covered. We also deserve to feel secured. We also deserve to experience effort. And I would really appreciate if a man of your magnitude and stature would highlight and honor more stories like that. And I'm a writer, so if you need some help, holla. Okay? Thank you for your time.
All right, cool.
Once again,
I mean, listen, let me be very real with you. Great points that she made as well. I think the main thing that I kind of took from her particular video, again, as she focused on the this kind of same play, which is that aspect where, you know, not asking men to step up. It's not even just about men stepping up. The reality of the situation is and it's always been the case. There's a lot more women now in the marketplace who are making money. Actually, in reality, what's happened, I mean, maybe we can say black men step up. In reality, what's happened is this. As black women have entered the market workplace, and you guys have heard me say it several times before, as they've entered the working market space, they have actually priced themselves out. I am not blaming black women, and I'm neither actually even blaming black men at this point, but they've priced themselves out because women tend to date up and men tend to date down financially. So what happens is, once women start to earn 30, 40, 50, 60, 70K, 80K, what happens is you are looking for your up usually, right? You're not looking down, right? Men tend to date down financially because what they consider to be value is less of your money, more of your physique, your fitness, your looks, your nurturing care. And they can take a hit on the finances because that aspect is going to be taken care of. That's not the full explanation of why the dating market is the way it is. It's a one part of the complicated equation. Reality of the situation here for women who are successful, I believe, is absolutely right. We're not asking them to date down. We're not asking them to look down. We're not asking them to. When I say date down, I'm talking about large gap, not like a little 10,000, 15,000, like you're different. That's not different pay gap oftentimes. Like, let's not do that. But we're talking about large gaps between you and another person. Yeah. And in that case, then at that point, it's completely different, two different spectrums. Or at least they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? So I think what's more important is focusing just on love. It's not going to be enough. there has to be a financial aspect conversation as well involved. And so yeah, I hear what she's saying. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. Let's there's another tweet here says black women on this app don't listen to understand. They listen to respond and argue. Tyler Perry's message was simple. Love a man for who he is more than what he can do for you. And a woman are pissed. Love a nigga who can pay a light bill, please. Listen, look, let me be real with you. Let me be real with you. Let me be real with you. Let me be real with you, sis. I hear you, right? But what you don't realize is if I can only afford a light bill in your life, I'm probably not the right kind of person for you. I want to be in a lead. And that's going back to what the woman said, that as men, we are insufferable at points in time when we don't have our finances in order, right? And we feel pressure because we want to lead, we want to supply, we want to provide. Now, if you're co-equals and you both make 30 or 40K together and it's roughly, someone makes a little bit more, someone a little bit, that's different ball game. But first of all, this is an elitist conversation because most people are not even in that bracket. It's a 10%er, 13%er conversation. It's not even a normal people's aspect, although there are, I'm sure, people who are normal or people who earn average salary who can probably tell the same thing, right? But the reality is this is an elitist conversation. It's about people who have money versus those who don't have money. And in this situation, I hear what sis is saying. You know what? Give me a person who will pay the light bill. But sis, let me keep it real and give you a buck. You're going to lose a whole lot more. Because as a man, I want to be able to do more. And so if I'm not able to be in the best place mentally to be able to say, hey, look, do you know what? I need to bow out here gracefully because in all honesty, when I look at the situation, I can't provide for you the way I want to. I feel uncomfortable. It's going to affect my ego. And it affects the ego of the woman too. Let's not just lie about it. It's only one way man. Women are also affected when they are the sole provider, right? That guard goes up more. They're having to think about how to, they're thinking about more things on their mind, and that makes them more tired, more emotionally withdrawn for the person because they're having to consistently be in survival mode. Now, I wouldn't advise a sister here who said about, give your person who pays a light bill. I would say maybe aim a little bit higher. Let's see. So no more points. Okay, so Mr. Fantastic 824 BABG said, not wanting to be completely trashed by his fan base, Tyler Perry purposely lied to black women and telling them the harsh truth. Black women do not make more money than black men. They are more than 100K. There are far more 100K black men earners than black women. Too many black women don't actually know how to assess and gauge value. So the price, in fact, I'll leave that there. Next one. Someone said, don't forget that the one where the rich side nigga gave old girl HIV. He wants us to go down in the trenches real bad. Yeah. But listen, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Look, let me know your thoughts down below. I think it was quite an interesting conversation. There was some interesting conversations even in my chat as well, and I would love to bring that up as a video. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. Mandem, let's do better, man. You know what I mean? Let's improve ourselves. We ain't trying to be working at Home Depot for all our lives. We want